I am Jim Collison and live from Omaha, Nebraska, and the Gallup office is in Singapore. This is Gallup's Call to Coach, Southeast Asia edition with special guest Lye Chan, recorded on January 12th, 2014. Call to Coach is a resource for those who want to help others discover and use their strengths. We have Gallup experts and independent strengths coaches share tactics, insights, and strategies to help coaches maximize the talent of individuals, teams, and organizations around the world. If you have questions or comments or contributions during the show, we do have a live chat room available. It's right below the video. Or if you're listening to the recorded version, email those questions to us after the show. Just send that email to coaching@gallup.com. And don't forget to visit the Gallup Strengths Center. Real easy. That's Gallup Strengths Center, all one word, for all your coaching resources and training needs. We actually have some updates coming to that site on January 20th, 2014. So if you're listening to the recorded version and it's after that date, head out there. And we both have some updates and some new products available for you. You can also catch video and both streaming and downloadable audio for offline listening of past shows, all available at coaching.gallup.com. Sarv Tree is our host today. Sarv works as a director of talent sourcing with Gallup in the Singapore office. Sarv, it's great to see you today, and happy 2014 to you.
Thank you so much, Jim, and good day to all the people dialed in live from around the world. Wishing all of them, a very happy New Year 2014, and making this year an year of strengths and the best year yet. It's going to be, we're back online in this new year, and we continue to bring in access to our Gallup-Certified Strengths Coaches through this forum and hear from their experiences. This is essentially building into our vision of having 1 billion people access their strengths and unlock their potential worldwide. And I think with Asia, having almost 60% of the world's population, this is where the biggest potential lies. And we are embarking on a new journey, a new revolution, and we want to have literally 1 million coaches, going out there and helping these 1 billion people working towards their strengths and focusing on what they do great at. For that reason, today we have Lam Lye Chan, who is a service consultant. She's one of the first Gallup-Certified Strengths Coaches in Singapore, and also a strong advocate of strengths in the Asia region. She has over 20 years of experience training and developing human resources in hospitality, retail, and healthcare. She's also a specialist in hotel openings, customer service training, management skills, team building, and performance management. Lye Chan comes from a solid experience as a service glass consultant, and she's also the first hotelier in Singapore to be awarded multiple certifications and awards, be it Certified Hospitality Educator, Certified Rooms Division Executive, and a Certified Professional Behavioral Analyst. She's got passion for developing human capital. Has trained more than 1,000 trainers and coaches to date. So today, we look forward to hear from her vast experience consulting across almost 40 cities and 13 countries. Especially in the Asia region, cities like Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Yangon, Mandalay, Hanoi, and Ho Chi Minh, and obviously Singapore. So let's hear from Lye Chan. Lye Chan, welcome to the session today, and we'd love to hear from your experiences, especially how did you start off as a strengths coach, and also, maybe we can start off with your top 5 and see how you're unlocking your potential using them.
Thank you for your kind invitation. I'm really, truly excited to be here and to be part of this strength movement. All right. My top 5 is responsibility, and it's very true with me because for every project that I do, even though my team of consultants are taking care of the project, I personally will be down at the site to talk to the people, to talk to management, to see whether they get the results. So it's my personal responsibility. In fact, I recall one time, one of the hotel general manager was saying that he wanted to recruit a service excellence quality manager, and he asked me, would you come and help me to interview this person? And I said, oh, okay, sure, I will do that. And it was a Saturday and not my working day. But I was doing it because I thought that it would be great for the company. If they have a good service quality manager, it will go a long way for sustainability. Well, my second top is maximizer, transforming something into something excellent to something superb, and that's like increasing skills and seeing the potential in others. And my third top is learner. I'm truly a learner. I enjoy learning. But more than that, I think people usually said knowledge is power, but to me, applied knowledge is power. If you never apply that knowledge, you will never have power. So I'm very excited about learning and applying. So my fourth top is arranger. I like to figure how things and resources can put together for maximum productivity, and I do a lot of pushing as well as getting results through others. And the interesting part about being a consultant is that you don't get results from your own team members whom you pay them to do it. You actually get results from your client staff, and they are actually your clients. Okay? And I really enjoy that process, how my clients and the team actually cooperated with me. So I'm able to arrange more things, and we can take more knowledge, go further. And my top five is futuristic. That's to inspire people on what they could do and what they could become. Because sometimes I think they didn't realize the potential they have in them. And when I highlighted that to them and showed them the way, really a lot more things can come out from there. And so I'm looking forward for a better work life, better team. Perhaps they can become better managers, and they can actually enjoy the journey. And also probably for companies, they can have better products for their guests.
Great. So let's hear a little bit about your journey as a strengths coach. How did you start off with that?
Well, I was working in the training and consulting business for the last 15 years, and in healthcare, retail, as well as hospitality. These three industries really is a shortage of manpower in Singapore. And I was always thinking, how can I help them? How can I help the people in a sense? The managers and the staff are also stressed. They just feel like giving up. And sometimes staff retention is an issue, and also productivity is another one. So I was constantly thinking, how can I help them? And being a strengths coach actually allows me to help my clients, and also to leverage on the talents they have in organization. I help them discover gems in their organization, and therefore they can use them to achieve more. And for staff, I help them to realize the potential so that they can enjoy the work. I really would like every staff to enjoy the work that they are doing. All right, and also in this case, they feel less stressed when they're using the strength, and they feel more fulfilled in the job. Well, honestly, I've been analyst of service gaps. I've been a developer of programs. I've been a trainer. I've been a facilitator. I've been a mentor. And being a coach right now is something new for me, and it's also a learning and development journey for myself. And the more I gain, the more my clients gain from my knowledge as well. So I'm very excited, and this really helps me a lot.
So when you became a Gallup-Certified Strengths Coach, what are some of the things that you immediately kind of incorporated, from the course that you went through into your coaching practice, and integrating it, especially in the hospitality and in the healthcare industry? How does that journey transform for you?
There's one thing that I like to do. One of the technique or tool that I like to use, and I like Jim to show that as well in my slide 1. And that's what you call what do you do. Okay. Now in the slides itself, actually I get the people to write down what do they actually do. So probably 10 to 12 things that they do regularly. And then I ask them to rank them according to importance, according to these 12 items, which one is most important. And then I stopped for a while and look at the manager and say, is it really what they're supposed to do? And it was very interesting. Some of them were surprised. You mean you were doing this? I didn't know that you're doing this. Okay, so there was a lot of clarifying of their job description, so to say. And I'm sure job descriptions are all in the files on the shelf, And so they actually clarifies that. Then I asked them to highlight those areas that they do best. All right, and so they will take the areas they do best. And then I asked them, of all these things that you do, what is it that you really enjoy doing? And they will put a smiley face on those things that they enjoy. So in this case, I actually help them to find a sweet spot. Jim's slide 2. In our slide 2, there's how you look for your sweet spot. If you can see the slide 2, right, on the top, what you do best and enjoy doing, that's a sweet spot. So we help managers find the staff sweet spot and let them do it more often because they will enjoy doing it. And I remember one of the front office manager, his sweet spot is to walk around and talk to customers. And the other day when I saw him, it was about 5:30. I said, "Hey, are you going for your sweet spot?" I said, "Yes, I just came back from it," and his eyes sparkled. And then he said that I'm going back again in half an hour's time. I said, "Good, enjoy your sweet spot." All right, so these are things that he really enjoyed doing and do it very well. The other one you could see is you do best but don't enjoy. I come across an SME, and there's a manager there who says that he don't quite like doing finance, but he can do finance, right? So he dreads doing it. So what we propose is that he shorten his pain, so to speak, because he don't really enjoy it. Instead of doing it every month, he does it only once in 6 months. And so he looked forward to that. Just once in 6 months, I have a pain. That's it, okay? Because he could do finance, but he really don't enjoy doing it. So that was how do best, but don't enjoy doing it. Now on the other side, there's don't do best, but enjoy doing it. There are people who don't do best in certain things, but they enjoy doing it. For example, they lack confidence talking to a guest, but they enjoy doing it, but they don't know how to handle complaints. So some training, some investment in training will help this person to be able to do better in that sense, so they can enjoy and yet do best, all right? And of course, the last quadrant is don't do best and don't enjoy. Well, it's really at the experimental phase, so to speak, and the person needs to discover how they can do that, all right? And to see whether they should continue. Maybe that is not the right fit for them. So that is the experimental phase. So I really like this tool a lot when I learned it from my class in Washington, D.C. And even more now that I do it with every person that I come across to find out how I can motivate them. It's really a motivation in that sense. So this is a tool that I like to do.
Great. Also, Lye Chan, you've got such a vast experience of coaching so many people, and you've been using tools like these, and also that you've been incorporated from your course. Remember we were discussing earlier as well. Share, maybe you can share a specific example of an individual or a team that you had coached before, where you incorporated all these various, training methodologies, and where did you see, if you could share an example of somebody where an aha moment came across for that individual, or you could, take them from the current state, and building off towards future state in your current coaching practice. So sharing a story of that.
Just last week, I was talking to a manager, and I was doing my coaching, and it was very interesting because it helps her to reduce conflict with her boss. Isn't that wonderful? All right, and also build better relationships. What happened is that she's a relator and achiever, but her boss is analytical, input, intellection, as well as deliberative. And so she often has problems talking to her boss and trying to get her things done. And her achiever theme is really very depressed at that point of time because she couldn't achieve anything because he just couldn't get through her boss. So when I spoke to her, she decided that, yes, she's going to look at it from her point of view to understand how she can work with her boss. And so this time around, she said she went to her boss' office very well prepared with all the data she needed, with all the anticipating all the questions that she has for her. And so in that case, it actually was smoother. The meeting went smoother. And in fact, she was telling me that she got her proposal signed very quickly nowadays. So it was a yes for her. So there was an individual who has benefited from this, right? Then the other one was retention. There was a company who has a manager, a very good manager, and one of his top team is achiever. And he was just sharing with me that maybe he would want to leave because things are getting more stagnant now and things are well maintained. He has done his job and it's time to look for something else. And upon hearing that, I quickly sort of sought his director to think of something interesting for him to do. And shortly, a week after, when I visited them again, and was very delightful to know that he's staying back because his director has given him a very, very challenging project. And he said, I don't mind staying back to help him in that. And therefore, he kept his letter, his resignation letter. I thought that was really very wonderful and impact for an organization as well. So that was great. There was another incident very recently with our head of department. He said that he's so tight with his resources that he feels that he's balancing on a rope, like a skywalker, he said, trying to balance all his resources together, and he doesn't know when the wind is coming, from what direction it's coming. And I look at his report and I say, hey, you got strategy, why don't you use that? And a ranger, why don't you use that to help you so that you really know when the wind is coming and how strong is that wind, instead of letting the wind blow you off. Okay. And he was thinking about it, yeah, that's right, there's something that I should do. Because for him, his strategy is not in his top 5, it's his 12th. And as we know, and as we have been taught, if a person has strategic in top 5, you always think about what if. What if this happened? What if that happened? What should I do? It's almost like a daily thing. But if strategic is not your top 5, it's like your maybe the 12 or the 10 or the 8, then you only do strategic thinking when you need to do it, right? Okay. So in this case, I was asking him pull that out more often, pull that talent or strategy out more often to use it to help you in terms of balancing, and anticipating your workforce. And it was, I hope, very useful for him.
Excellent. Also, Lye Chan, you shared your story of working with the senior management there. What level of the organization do you normally consult and coach individuals on strengths, and what do you recommend? What order do you have you seen most effective in coaching individuals through the organization? At what organization level onwards?
I usually will start off with convincing and talking to the ExCom member, the executive committee, but thereafter I pay a lot more attention to the head of departments and the section managers, because they are the one who's going to deliver the results. They are the one who's going to build their team. So I pay more attention to that level, the head of departments and the section managers. I spend more time than what I've been asked to do, because I feel that by investing in them, they can actually give better results and therefore the staff are happier. My end result is happy staff, happy managers, and happy guests, and of course happy general managers.
And how many sessions do you normally hold with them in terms of strengths coaching to ultimately drive them to performance?
Well, at least 3. The first one is to help them to understand from the report what is their top 5 and what it means, and also to help them to come up with action plan that they say they will do, and I'll hold them accountable for the action plan. So about a month later, I'll go back, and that's session 2. I will look at how they perform, and then I'll ask them what the current challenges you are going to have, and currently or future, and how your talents can help you, how your team's talents can help you in that sense. And then after that, we will discuss some of the strategies, and then after that, they will go and deploy what they have agreed to do. And then shortly after that, I will have third session to look at some results that we have achieved. And if there's no results, for example, one of the managers says, but I really don't see that happening. And then we will discuss and think, why is it not happening? Why is someone having a talent like this and not using it, for example? Okay. And of course, there are some possibilities. For example, it could be a matter of expectations difference between the manager and the staff. Maybe the manager expected this, but the staff think that I'm already doing a lot and this is what I'm doing. But so there's a little gap down here, and therefore they need to sit down and discuss, and have a real clear understanding of what is the expectations. That could be one reason. Another reason, it could be a motivation factor. Why the staff has talent and not using it? I come across a company whereby, well, let's not do too much, the staff told me, because they change every week. Sometimes every day, alternate days, they'll change their mind. So I'm not going to do anything until they are very sure what they want to do. So it's a matter of motivation. So they're not very motivated to use their talents because they're not sure whether it's appreciated. Is it really serious that management wants them to do that? And there was another one which was very interesting. There was a person, we talked to a team member who has restorative. And when we checked with the team members, they say no, it was not evident that he has restorative. And then when I had my coaching session with her, she actually told me that she would like to troubleshoot, but the problem is that she don't know how. Okay, and that comes along with experience, knowledge that she's lacking. So we need to give her more opportunities and give her more opportunities to experience certain things and more knowledge of what the resources available, so that she can use this to troubleshoot. So it's very interesting, to be talking to people.
Great, and you share some of the aha moments that you were able to help other people achieve. What about some of the aha moments that you got, when you were coaching other people, or just from other experiences in this strengths journey of yours?
Mm-hmm. I have some ahas after the course, actually. As you know, I'm a learner, and I apply it. So after being back to Singapore after the training, I started to work with my clients. And one of the interesting tools that I use is the team metrics, which I learned from the class. And I discovered great insights about the talents and the gems they have in the organization. They really have gems. Example, there was one person in the organization who has competition and ideation. And he's in the finance department. It was very interesting, finance department. So I had a conversation with him, slightly longer than an hour. And he said that he really don't have opportunity to use that because he's in finance. And so I said, wow, what a waste, what a pity. He likes competition, but he doesn't like competition with his colleagues because he has harmony. Right? So he don't like to compete with his colleagues for promotion, but he certainly likes to compete with the competitors out there. So I actually recommended to the general manager to bring him out for any of the competitors survey with the sales team or with the food and beverage team or with the rooms division team and see what he can come up with. But I have full confidence that he's going to come up with something interesting with his competition as well as his ideations talent. So I was very excited. I'm just waiting for the results, what's going to happen. All right. So this is really aha using the tool that I learned from the class, the team matrix. So I get really, really very excited about it. Okay.
Great. And as you all know that we have our next course being launched in Singapore from 3rd till 7th March. You can absolutely write to us to learn more about it at saurav_r3@gallup.com. Just back to Lye Chan. Lye Chan, we have a lot of new coaches or experienced coaches who are dialed in live around the world and who will be listening to this later on. What advice would you offer to these coaches, to develop their coaching business or just develop themselves as coaches?
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the key things is that the coaches is to really spend a bit more time knowing the client's business because the client is looking for results. So we need coaches to actually also know the business pretty well, really investing time. And the other thing is I think coaches must continue to develop ourselves to our own full potential in that sense so that we can be really good, valuable resource to our clients. And the more you practice, the better it becomes as applied knowledge is power.
Great. Jim, any questions that you have from your side?
No, none coming from. None coming from chat. Let me see if I can talk myself in this. But I wanted to ask you a question. One of the common themes as we do Call to Coach, we hear a lot of is some ideas for new coaches on some of those first questions that they ask someone when they're coaching someone. There's that first time that you meet them and you get an opportunity to ask them a couple questions. What are the questions you like to ask right out of the chute, very first thing?
Well, I like to ask them, what do they do best? What do they really enjoy about their job? Is it meeting customers, or is it analyzing the report and see what the gaps are? I like to talk from where they enjoy best.
So
and then after that, I will talk about what is the challenges that they're facing right now, and what is robbing them of their joy. Because I think when people are working, they must have joy at work, and that is in some way like passion. You really enjoy, and that gives you the 120% instead of just 100%.
Sure. So you tie those tasks to this form the very first slide that you had us put up. You give that to them, have them fill that out, and that's kind of the first questions that you ask them?
I don't get them to fill out the form so soon. I probably just have a chat with them because I really want to know them. And knowing that I only have a little bit of time for an hour or 2 hours, I would want to know them better as a person. Because I believe strength is not just at work. It's also a total person. And I like to relate that to also the family, how they would listen to family members, how they relate to others, So I want to know about them as a total person first, in order to then get into the work, how they can do more at work.
And how do you know, or how do you get that sense, that feeling that what you're getting from them is genuine? Sometimes people want to portray themselves in one way, and we know that's not always what they're best at. Any tricks for kind of knowing when you're getting the real story and maybe you're getting a wishful story?
Yeah, that's true. But I'm a person who likes to read others. I've been doing this a lot, and I really enjoy it. And some, I look at their eyes, I look at expressions, I look at what they say. I'll see whether they say it with a lot of passion or a lot of anger. Let's say they're not happy with something, they speak with a lot of anger. Okay, all right. So I will look at that, and I will sort of sense it, that whether they're telling the truth. But anyway, if they're not telling the truth, it's just a pity, isn't it? We have an hour conversation, to help them become better, and yet they're not telling the truth. How can I help them then? Okay, so may as well they just tell us, because I am their coach. I'm not the competitor. I'm not the superior. I'm the coach, and their interest is my interest actually, and for them to win is winning for myself as well.
And have you found, as they trust you more, that you might find new things about them that weren't necessarily disclosed early on, that because the trust in the relationship is there, they might be more forthcoming with you?
Oh yes, I have a client who even told me he has a son who is in trouble and he's taking drugs, and so I have to quickly go check out some areas, some association that would help them, and of course they were in tears after a while, because they as a parent, I think they are very disappointed, and so I would do what I can, and I know that level is really pretty deep, and within 1 hour to come into that level is really, to me, was amazing too. All right, and I appreciate the trust they had on me that I could actually do something for them.
Yeah, one of the tools Gallup has coming in 2014 is some tools around strength-based parenting, right? And I think sometimes in your strength practice, probably end up doing a little bit of parenting coaching as well as maybe workplace coaching. Do you find that happening sometimes too?
Yes, I think companies should look at the person as a person and not just a robot. You just do the work and that's it, and produce the result. Just work, produce the results. I think we need to really look at the person as a total person. Even the home issues sometimes affects the work, and we all know that. But how many managers have time really to sit down to talk to the staff on a weekly, monthly basis? I think it's very critical, especially your key people, that you spend time talking not just about work but about them, how they have grown. Next month, I'm going back to an old client of mine whom I've left the company for 2 years. I haven't done project with them for about 2 years. And usually that's about the case because they are self-sufficient. And when I go back, I usually would tell them, I've grown, have you? All right. So we all should keep on progressing as we go along. So we shouldn't be where we were 2 years ago.
Let me ask you one more question about, and I'm going to throw that form back up. What do you do? That second slide that you had. And in the don't enjoy and don't do best intersection, you have that word experimental that's in there. Sometimes we phrase that as find someone else. That you could also put that, right, because it's typically not what you're best at and you don't like to do, and so you often want to find a partner that has those strengths. How do you, in your coaching, do you work it from that angle, or oftentimes in the team, you mentioned the team form, which is very, very powerful, right? When you take your team and outline them by strengths, right? Strengths across the top, team down the side, then and figure everyone else out. Do you get that opportunity in your coaching then to start lining up other people's gaps with other people's strengths?
Yes, I have an opportunity to do that as well. But sometimes in that quadrant, it could be a wrong fit, and the person is really very miserable. It could be a wrong fit. But at the same time, it could also be not so much of a talent, but rather a skills that person is lacking in. For example, I have someone who came to me because she could not accurately input the formulas for Excel, and so her reports, every report that she churns out has mistakes. And she came to me and said, Lye Chan, I don't have the strength, I don't have the talent. So I looked at her and says, no strength, no talent, no, that's not it. It's no skills. Why are you going to learn it, master it, okay? Go and learn your Excel so that you can input the right formula and get all your reports correct. So it is not a matter of talent, but rather it's a matter of lack of knowledge or skills. So I need to check that up to see which one is it actually before I conclude that it is a wrong fit, and that or offer another alternative that's a partnership.
That's a good point. Sarv, back to you.
Thank you, Jim. Another question that Lye Chan, we have for you is, you've been coaching for such a long time. Any differences that you've seen in your previous coaching and on the strength-based coaching?
I've done coaching, but strength coaching is only recently because I just got certified last year. Okay, but using the strengths certification, I find that it helps me a lot. It helps me a lot. It gives, the report is very good. In fact, almost all my clients will say the report is 100% accurate, which is one very important thing, because when this is correct, I can do much more. All right, and then they feel that they can. I could actually therefore use it to analyze it and to be able to come up with a solution or propose thoughts, solutions to my client.
Great. And I remember during a conversation earlier, you mentioned that, when you embarked on, the thinking about that, are you going to do strengths coaching, some of your clients asked you that, if you could, do strengths coaching because they saw the need in their organization. Share that story as well.
Well, many of my clients want to be ahead of the competitors, isn't it? So they're always exploring things that could bring them forward ahead of the competitors. And in fact, two of the companies was telling me, Lye Chan, why don't you try to go for this and use it for our company? So I was looking at them and said, oh, okay, I'll do that. And of course, to my delight, it was a wonderful cause, I must say. It really helps me so that now I'm back, I can contribute to my clients. In fact, they were saying that they really want to work on strengths rather than, in most cases, most companies actually look at weaknesses. And so these are my enlightened clients, I must say, to have this thought that they want to actually work on strength rather than work on weaknesses. So it was a request, one of the requests from my clients that actually I'm there at Washington, D.C.
Excellent. Great. Thank you so much, Lye Chan, on that. Jim, do we have any final thoughts, before I kind of wrap up the session is here?
No, I think we are good. Let's take it in for a landing.
Brilliant. So just on that note, Lye Chan, thank you so much for taking time out and and coming in and to share your thoughts and stories with us. We'll keep having these call to coach sessions regularly from the Southeast Asia edition. And if you want to listen to Lye Chan or meet her in person, we also have her coming in along with all of our other coaches from Singapore region next Friday for our strengths breakfast session, Friday the 17th of January from 10 a.m. at the Singapore office. We're based in Anson Road in Springleaf Tower. Do drop me an email if you want an invitation for that at saurav_atri@gallup.com. And we'll be happy to invite you to meet our coaches and hear from them and their stories. Also, our next course in Singapore after the successful launch of our inaugural course in November, next course is scheduled from the 3rd till 7th March, and following that one, the next one is from 21st to 24th of April 2014. Again, you can write to us at my email address or also at coaching@gallup.com for any other queries or any queries that you have regarding our courses. We also have our India course, just end of this month, 20th to 24th of January in Bombay, in Mumbai, and another course in Sydney in end of February. You can list out. We have all our list of courses on our website, www.gallupstrengthcenter.com. You can absolutely go online and register for the course that you want, or just write to us. Thank you so much for that. Jim, back to you for final closure.
You bet. Thanks, Saurav. And you did a great job. But I'll remind everybody, and I'll mention it again, we have some updates coming to the Gallup Strengths Center. So on January 20th, 2014, we'll be making some updates to the site. And so if you're a regular out there, if you've never visited it before, head out Gallup-Strengthcenter.com. You can send us your questions. Just send us an email if you're watching this after the show. coaching@gallup.com. That's a great way to get a hold of us, and we will get back to you. You can also catch the recorded audio and video of this show. Maybe you came late and you'd like to watch the whole thing again. You can find those all. They're available at coaching.gallup.com. We have a Facebook page. We have a YouTube channel that you can get all the past videos on. We have about 15 or 20 of these now, so if you'd like to go out there and see some past ones, some great resources for you, whether you're coaching or you're thinking about coaching or you want some encouragement around your strengths, we have all kinds of resources that are available for you that are out there. We also want to thank Lye Chan for coming out and for joining us today. We actually have a question from chat we're going to do in the post-show, so if you're listening live, hang around for the post-show. But I want to thank those who are listening to the recorded version for coming out and hearing us today. We'll wish everyone a good day and stay around for the post-show. Thanks, everyone.